Hi, my name is Lara Briozzo, and this is a video about meditation using breathing. I would like to share with you a couple of exercising techniques that you can use. And breathing, it can be a meditation in its own and can also be what you do to relax and enter a deeper meditation. The first technique that I would like to share is counting as you breathe. And by this I mean counting until 4, for instance, by the in-breath, and then counting until 4 by the out-breath. And that's the value of this, is that you keep your attention by the breathing, and you are even more helped by counting, not to get distracted by thoughts or so. So you breathe in and you breathe out. And I'm gonna use the finger so that I can also breathe with you as you do that, to help you get a bit of a rhythm. We're gonna do it a few times, and then of course you can, as you are ready, you can just close your eyes and count on your own. This is a first technique. 4, it's a kind of an average number, is something that you should be able to do. Let's say you have some problems, some situation, physical situation, where 4 feels too much, do with 3. If you feel that 4 it's not enough, that you don't get that depth of breath that you want, go 5, go 6. This is the characteristic of this breathing, is that the in-breath and the out-breath are just as long. The next technique that I would like to teach you is to make the out-breath a bit longer than the in-breath. So with this same system that we have learned, we're gonna breathe in for 4 and we're gonna breathe out for 5 and see how different it feels. And I'm gonna guide you with the finger again so that it stays still and you can follow with open eyes as long as it feels needed. And when you feel that you have it under your knee, you can close your eyes and just count for yourself. So. I made a little mistake. I breathed in 5 times that last time, so I breathed out 6. That's something you can also do for the same reason as in the first exercise. If you notice that 4 for in-breath is not enough, you can choose to make the in-breath a bit longer. And then you always make it, the out-breath, a little bit longer than the in-breath. That's the main... That's what, in essence, this exercise offers. Because the tendency that we have is to breathe too shortly and doing that, we keep oxygen in our lungs that it's not renewed. With this kind of exercise, we empty the lungs, and that's beneficial. We create more space for new fresh air to come in, and with fresh air comes also fresh energy from our environment. So this is also beautiful to do in nature. What you may have noticed in both of these exercises, that when you count, you give yourself somehow the length of the counting. So you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can say 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also play with that. Before you move from 4 to 5, you can play with making the 4 a bit more relaxed, a bit more longer. It's up to you. And you may notice that it's gonna build up. The more you do this, the more your lungs somehow become stronger and more able to support these exercises. The third exercise that I want to share with you, it's a combination of these. What we add, so we started just counting 4 for the breath in and counting 4 for the breath out. In the second exercise, we count 4 in the breath in and we count 5 in the breath out to empty our lungs completely. What we are going to do now is we're going to breath in 4, make a pause of 1 for the count of 1, and then breathing out for 5 and make a pause for the count of 1. So we start by just breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we count 1 and we stop with breathing. We have a break where we don't breathe in or breathe out. We just stay still. And then we breathe out for the count of 5. So, and when we are done with the count of 5, we have a count of 1, another pause. So there is a pause, breathe in for 4, pause, breathe out for 5. And the pause is for a count of 1. So it's count of 1, pause, count 4, breathe in, count 1, pause, count out, breathe out for 5. I'm gonna do the pause with these other hands, and I'm gonna count the 4 and the 5 for the breathing with these. When you start, you don't start with a break, you start just breathing in. So now just a little bit slower. Of course, you can keep going with this, but this was a bit long enough to feel how that feels. And as you may have noticed, these are all exercises to get more acquainted with your breathing, to make things moving and to free up things that are maybe blocked in your breathing. Breathing is actually the essence of life. some theory in yoga, some wise people in yoga says that people that live really long, they don't breathe really much in 1 minute. They have less breath in a minute than people that live shorter. So the learning to come in deep contact with your breath, it helps to become more aware of yourself, of your breathing, to choose how to breathe, to relax in your breathing, and somehow to make your life longer when you can breathe more slowly. And these are exercises that help you become a bit more acquainted and more comfortable and more at ease with yourself and your breathing.